Good morning. Welcome to day 11. We're leaving at Le Relais de Masson. Du Masson. Le Relais de Masson. Nicole et Philippe, they were wonderful hosts. Bonjour. And bye. Yeah, great dog. Anyway, we're getting on the road now. Bye. Bye. Woo. Beautiful morning at the moment. The Le Relais de Masson is back the direction of the sun. We're headed off this way to our first town. Don't remember the name already, but you know, just the way it goes. We're on some grass right now, but we'll be getting off it pretty soon because, well, we usually take roads into town. Not always, but usually. Made it to our first little town. Looks like this is called the Baradieu. This is the church. Looks like they're working on it. Yeah, a lot of reconstruction going on, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, French guys I met last night, all getting ready to leave, pointed out that there's a river that's too high to cross, so we have to take an alternate route. Thankfully he showed it to me. Now this says we can't go inside. I see that, but we're not going to go inside. We're just going to see if we can take a picture through this fence, even if there's not much to see, which of course there isn't because the door over here is shut. Oh well. This would definitely be something we'd be interested in if, you know, they're open right now, but they're not open until 5 to 7. And yeah, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. But there's a farm up there that sells goat cheese, and goat cheese is yummy. Rob likes the goat cheese. Coming up on a little town here that would not normally be on our Camino route. This is Castelnau, maybe? And yeah, it's been on a busy road for a little while now, because still going around the flooding out there somewhere, which might have added a few kilometers to our walk today. This is probably going to be close to 30, so about 18 miles today, but 18 miles is definitely better than trying to ford a flood, at least in my opinion. So it's a quaint little town. I like it. Nice little square here in front of the school. I was just stopped by a French gentleman who asked me why I was here. He thought the trail was off that way, and I don't know the word for flood, but I told him there was beaucoup de pluie, and I showed him like beaucoup de l'eau, and he's like, oh, he understands. And then he said, like, so you're passing through here? And I'm like, yes. So very nice guy. All right, so we're almost done going around the flooding that's down there somewhere. Almost. Still following the French gentleman, Jean-Luc, and his friends. I don't know all their names, but how could you forget Jean-Luc? I mean, his last name's not Picard or anything, but Jean-Luc is so French. And these guys are like the grown-up version of, what's that movie where they're all walking to see a dead body? Stand By Me? These guys are great. They're hilarious. Okay, I'd only be guessing, and Rob does a lot of guessing, and yeah, sometimes he's not right. But I would guess that's Condom down there. That's where we're headed to next. It will have been probably about 8 miles. It's only supposed to be 7, so what's that, an extra 1.6 kilometers? I mean, we don't know for sure until we get there, but oh, here's a bush in the way. All right. Anyway, we're still the Stand By Me crew, but we're about to head off back onto the GR, right up there. Walking along another brown river now. This is near Condom. They didn't really take us inside the city. They took us inside the worst part of the city, but not up to that. So I don't know how they figure out the Camino sometimes, or le chemin, or le GR, or whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty sure I'm in the right place now, but I see the mark up there. But I don't get it. We didn't pass much of anything. Not even a place to eat or drink other than a bar. No, there was a bar, but no store, no market, no épicerie, no boulanger. Oh well, at least we get a nice walk along the river. We were just off piste again in somebody's field over there. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I mean, I know how it happened, I just don't know how it happened. All of a sudden we were on this road and it said private property, and I'm like, crud. Pulled out my GPS, noticed we were in the wrong spot. Started to beeline it towards the trail, which, yeah, again, took us through some junk. Anyway, we're actually off the trail again. But there was a sign back there that said, anybody basically pilgrims, hikers. There's a little town over here that's like a, I want to say 12th century village. It's a little bit out of the way, but heck, it can't be any more out of the way than we've already been today. So we thought we'd go check it out. We like old places. This is the place. It's really old. It is kind of cool up here. I get to see it. I'm not sure if we have to pay to get in. And there is a bit of it under construction here, but there's a vineyard right outside it. It's a neat old thing. They also said there was a restaurant and some places to stay. I don't need a place to stay, but you sure could use a restaurant. All right, I'm gonna walk up there and see if we can get a better shot. Oh yeah, this is definitely Rob's kind of place. It is a fortified, walled something. A nice clock tower there and this wonderful entrance. There was a moat at one point. Well, I mean, there still is a moat. It's full of grass. But it doesn't look like it costs to get in. And they did say there was a restaurant inside. We could really use something cold to drink. Our water's not very cold right now. But I don't know if it's open. But it's pretty neat. It's a tourism office. Yeah, let's check this place out. So I just met a wonderful French woman named Christiane. And she got me some water in this beautiful place. She actually lived in New York, so very familiar with Pennsylvania and the States, and very proficient in English, much better than my French. So yeah, the restaurant's not quite open yet, but this is just a neat little medieval town. And you've pretty much seen all of it, because I came in from right over there, 50 meters away. If there's anywhere to go inside. It's right back there is the medieval village. We're just outside here in this lovely little cafe, and perfect place, perfect timing. Glad we took the detour, and this is lunch. One last look at this really cool medieval village before we head off. And Christiane, I don't know if I mentioned it, but she told us it's pretty easy to get back. We don't have to go back the way we came. We just follow this road out, and it will take us back to the JR, and that would be awesome. Oh, I'm gonna take a picture. We've come out of the woods. Well, not exactly the woods. I mean, there was a field back there. And one thing I can say about the field back there is our shoes are the cleanest I've ever seen them. Now, that's not because it wasn't flooded. It's actually because it was flooded. And we just decided, you know what? We'll try to make it through. So we found a few rocks and walked on those, and our shoes are actually relatively clean for once. I mean, the last few days, they've just been caked in mud. So my feet are, well, yeah, they're soaked, but the water was nice and cool, and it was a runoff, so it wasn't really a huge lake. It only went up to like just a little above my sock line. Anyway, we're in Montreal. Bienvenue à Montréal. Montreal, France, that is. And this is our town. So all we have to do now is look for our gîte. Looks like we're coming into the center of Montreal here. Not quite as big as the center of Montreal, Canada, but it's a neat little square. And when I was looking around yesterday, I'm pretty sure I saw a grocery store over in the far corner. Over there, I see it. Yep, there it is, the Proxy. That's where we'll be buying our food. First though, we're gonna find the gîte, take a shower, because we're wet and smelly. Yes, we have found it. This is the gîte. Take my shoes off. I can do that. So I've come out to take a quick look around this town. Hopefully get some food at the store. It's tough sometimes because every now and then you're in a city or a town that has a store, and the people wonder why I don't want to buy their dinner for 12 euros, which is great. I mean, all the food I have is awesome, but it's just so much food. It's like contrary to like I walk all day, but then I eat like 10,000 calories at night. So, and I don't really need to eat so much food. It's like I can afford to live on just a couple sandwiches and a liter of milk, you know, for people that know Rob. That's what Rob does. Okay, and it's not like I don't appreciate the food, because the food is incredible. But something I've come to learn on the Caminos in France is most people are out here for a week, 2 weeks. They're not out here for 2 months like Rob. So, you know, for them it's a vacation. They're walking and they're having a good time, and that's great that they get out and doing it. And so eating, you know, a nice big French meal every night, these flowers are really cool. This is still the town square. We'll go see if the church is open. So I'm not trying to be mean or anything, because every now and then, you know, I'm going to eat the dinner. But for most times, you know, maybe twice a week I eat the dinner. And the rest of the time I try to pack my own food, because we're kind of on a budget. And last week, yeah, we weren't able to buy a lot of food. It's pretty neat. All right, door's open. We're gonna go inside. So it's really dark in here, but this place is awesome. I don't even know if it's a church or a cathedral or what, but it's huge. Those are cool windows. There's windows everywhere. A lot of stained glass. Yeah, that's awesome. Until I go to the next window, it goes away. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Yep, it's neat. I just caught sight of this outside the church. This is the back of the church. There's a cool little entrance. Who knows what we're gonna get to see out here, but we'll find out. If it's cool, we'll show it to you. If it's not, we cut it. It's not bad. We just get a view of the countryside out here and the cool town. Yeah, it's a beautiful view. Because of course, we're at the top of the hill. Why wouldn't we be on the Camino?